What's the most ridiculous conspiracy theory you've ever heard? Michael Jackson never underwent plastic surgery. He had a fascination with makeup and prosthetics, especially after filming his Thriller video. Occasionally, he would disguise himself in public to avoid being recognized. According to a theory, in the early 90s, he began regularly using these disguises, including lightening his skin tone. Over time, the prosthetics and altered skin tone deviated significantly from his original appearance. The conspiracy suggests that one day he staged his death, walked out of a building as a dark-skinned, middle-aged black man, and has since lived an unrecognized normal life. Alright, I don't buy that version of events at all. However, I completely believe that he would consider doing something like that. There was a conflict between two extraterrestrial races symbolized by the eagle and the reptiles, snake, dragon. The reptiles emerged victorious, establishing a base on Earth and concealing themselves among us. Allegedly, several royal families are believed to be reptilian. The eagles have been plotting revenge for ages, and the reptiles are aware that they might return soon. These reptilian beings possess a distinct biomarker from humans, enabling the eagles to identify their targets. To create a human shield, the reptiles supposedly need to inject their DNA into every individual, allowing them to hide from the impending eagle invasion. This conspiracy theory claims that COVID-19 was engineered for this purpose, and the vaccine is asserted to be a means of injecting people with reptilian DNA.
This is supposedly the reason why the Mexican flag features a golden eagle battling a rattlesnake. According to this conspiracy theory, the Mexican Illuminati clandestinely governs the world, and only the American bald eagle can prevent them from moving north and consuming the "no step on snack" loyalists. Allegedly, all of this will be unveiled on the day Donald Trump dramatically and publicly removes his toupee, presenting himself as the sole true bald savior.
According to this conspiracy theory, the NFL has been manipulating football games to guarantee a win for the Chiefs in tonight's Super Bowl. Supposedly, this plot is designed to give Taylor Swift some much-needed media attention, allowing her to endorse Joe Biden for president. The claim is that this endorsement will give Biden an unjust and unbeatable advantage in the upcoming election.
It's lamentable that the, arguably, most well-known female artist, currently valued at $1.1 billion, with 281 million Instagram followers, has struggled to garner media attention. However, according to this perspective, dating a player from the Super Bowl winning team would finally bring her the desired media attention.
Who is Taylor Swift? This one wins for me just for the sheer effort of mental gymnastics it takes to make it work. The Earth is flat. The government doesn't want the public to know for reasons. Which government? Well, any government, of course. Because apparently countries can be bitter enemies aiming nukes at each other but still be totally united in keeping this one secret. But wait, what about NASA? Or any country's space exploration team? Nope, they're all in on it, too. All 18,000 NASA employees are in on this one secret and are keeping it under wraps. But also every single other country's space teams, so tens of thousands of people. But wait a minute, how about airline pilots? All their navigation is based on the Earth being round and they can see it. Nope, they're in on it too. At some point in commercial airliner school they're let in on the secret and keep it because, well, because they all want to. Same with flight attendants. All over the world, every since once of them, tens to hundreds of thousands of people. All of them just keeping the secret and joining the lie. Cause why the not? There's also non-commercial pilots, but I won't address that. Oh, and then finally, let's not forget university students, professors, and tech staff. All of whom are using tools and math and the general presumption that the Earth is round. How did that team of academics get their satellites into space? They didn't. They're in on the lie, and they're lying to control the public. Also military weapons manufacturers. For some reason they design ICBMs and spy satellites for us that use round Earth math, but have to lie to us about it being flat. When you think about how like 1/5 of the entire f***ing population has to be in on this lie, it's truly insane how these theorists think. I encountered a kid who explained to me the theory of ice walls at the edges preventing us from falling off the Earth. He also mentioned the existence of extraterrestrials beyond these walls. It was quite a chaotic narrative. He proudly declared his disbelief in anything the government says but expressed trust in information from YouTube personalities. I wish to believe that it's a massive hoax perpetrated by every single person who subscribes to it. I know, logically, that this is not true, but there are specific individuals I've encountered in life whom I wouldn't trust with even a garbage can. Excluding them, I hope and believe it's a hoax. It's inconceivable that someone could be intelligent enough to hold down a job, possess a driver's license, pay taxes, and still genuinely believe in such nonsense. I call nonsense on that.
I find this conspiracy fascinating. Here's a random fact. I once went on a blind date with an astrophysicist from NASA. He had the driest personality imaginable, very focused on his work. Trying to be cute, I asked him his thoughts on Pluto. He glared at me and said, "We don't discuss Pluto," changing the subject. Again, thinking I was being lighthearted, I asked about the shape of the Earth. He didn't get my humor and lectured me throughout the entire dinner on how he regularly measures the Earth, emphasizing it is clearly a sphere, and proceeded to give me math problems. As a fun fact, he mentioned that during a significant tsunami, the Earth contracted, making us permanently 1 nanosecond shorter in time now. Despite this, he sounded pretty certain the Earth was round. He concluded the date by reading his thesis on the Big Bang Theory and asked if my uterus was in condition to bear his children. Politely said goodbye, and I do think the Earth is a globe.
Being produced by 5G towers to infect people and get them to the hospital, where doctors would steal the liquid from their knee joints to sell it for a fortune because it is needed in order to make more 5G towers, is gonna be very hard to top for me.
No, you got it all wrong. 5G towers are meant to activate the mind control chips that were put into people's brains by COVID testing swabs, using some kind of metallic nanogel as an antenna, which was pumped into people with COVID vaccine. Whoever made up this should write sci-fi novels instead of whatever they are doing.
The no planes 9/11 theory suggests that there were no planes involved, and all the news footage and helicopter cameras were allegedly hacked. According to this theory, individuals then supposedly created seamless real-time CGI to depict planes aligning with explosions. Furthermore, it claims that all the independently captured footage by people was fabricated to align identically with each other, using technology available in 2001.
The really absurd thing about this is that it would have been a lot easier just to use actual f***ing planes, even if it was a conspiracy.
Apart from the obvious nonsense like flat Earth and the Jewish space lasers, one of the most ludicrous conspiracy theories, in my honest opinion, is the notion that the moon landings were faked. Why? The entire purpose of reaching the moon was to surpass the Soviets in the space race. If we had faked the mission, the Soviets would have undoubtedly exposed it with evidence. They had their own probes and space program capable of detecting such fraud. It would have been a monumental triumph for Moscow and a disaster for the US to be caught in such a deceit. However, they acknowledged defeat, and the space race came to an end. Even if the Soviets couldn't land a person on the moon, it would still have been worthwhile for them to expose any American fraud. That reminds me of a TikTok post I came across. According to the video, there was a catastrophic event in the 80s, and since then, we've supposedly been living in an alternate timeline. The evidence presented was that everyone is really nostalgic for the 80s. I once had a married couple explain to me their belief that all TVs have cameras spying on us. Their certainty came from paying close attention and doing our own research. According to them, every time the wife watches TV, she sees ads for things she'd want to buy. When the kids watch, the commercials are mostly for toys and candy, kid stuff. And when the husband watches, it's all about hunting and fishing gear. They insisted that their TV knows exactly who is sitting in front of it all the time, and claimed others notice it too once it's pointed out. I didn't bother explaining the age-old science of demographics to them. I was too busy lamenting how remarkably misinformed they were. And well, friends, that was all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, let me know with a thumbs up so that YouTube can share these stories with more people. Remember to hit the bell icon to be the first to know when we upload a new video. See you next time.